Hello, and here we are back at Perfectly Paranormal, episode 158. My name's Anna Schmidt, and I'm here every week to share with you true paranormal encounters and information about devils, demons, and dark energy beings that no one else talks about. And today you're going to hear everything that I have learnt about spiritual discernment. Now, there are two types of spiritual discernment in my way of thinking. Number one is the meditation, the enlightenment, the spirit guide type of discernment. But mostly what I'm going to be talking about today is the second variety of spiritual discernment, which is connected more to the darker entities. You know how I love talking about them. And their tricks of the trade on how they manipulate us in situations and opportunities. You're going to get a deep dive into what spiritual discernment is. And most importantly, the three keys, how to use spiritual discernment and what you get out of it. So enough of that said, let's get into it. What is spiritual discernment? Now, I tried to think of a way to explain it that was easy to understand, easy to remember, because we don't have time for long-winded explanations. So the definition of spiritual discernment online, in most of the sites and the dictionaries that I looked at, it is the ability to distinguish between good and evil and truth and falsehood in a spiritual capacity. And that applies to both types of spiritual discernment. And I call it, I've actually shortened the definition too, I call it the ability to see through the BS, to question it, and where it comes from. I don't trust anything that I hear unless it is received in a certain way that I've had for a very long time, and even then, the type of information, how it's shared, the tone or the frequency or the vibration that comes with it, and if it's relevant and useful. Because we all know how dark and demonic entities love to trick us, to deceive us, and send us down the garden path, down into Alice's rabbit hole on hunts for things that aren't even relevant to what we were asking about. We humans get sidetracked very, very easily. You know how you get online to look up something on Google and you end up 25 sites later and you're like, wow, how did I get here? That's the sort of thing that demonic entities like to do. They don't want us getting answers and results that we need. They want to deceive us, make us paranoid, anxious. So if something you're seeing in meditation, or that sweet guiding voice that you're hearing, or that desire that you want magically comes to you, and I'm talking really quickly, you've only got to think about it and it's there that day or the next day or the next day, and you're like, wow. If it seems too good to be true, then it probably is. I talked about this last week. I did a whole episode in episode 157 where Kay asked, can I accidentally make a deal with the devil? And also in episode 155, how the devil gets close to us. And I've talked about it in various other episodes. But this podcast is about drumming this information into your brain so it becomes second nature. And you just do it without even thinking about it, without even having to get online and do the research. You just do it. Now, the devil and his henchmen, as we know, they're here to tempt us. It is their MO. It is what they do. And they have had eons to hone their skills and mess with our mere puny little human minds and our spiritual discernment. Temptation, oh my goodness, aren't we all tempted? Temptation for those unaware people, it gives them what they think they need in that moment of weakness. But there's always an exchange for everything that we are given. Always. Not always money. It can be lots of different things. There are no quick fixes. There are no shortcuts to what we need or what we want in life. We have to work for everything. I know that sounds painful and horrible, and it bloody well is. We have to work for everything. As they say, it is the journey that counts, not the outcome. It's the journey of learning through going through something. I mean, the outcome's great, but if you get there too quickly, you haven't done the learning, and it's a bit, I always question it. Many of us live life in the fast lane, especially now. It's just, there is so many opportunities out there, and the internet and AI and everything else gives us what we want straight away. You ask a question, bam, there's the answer. I question everything. I probably sound paranoid, but I'm not. I'm just like, why is that here? Where did it come from? Do I actually need it? Is it relevant in my life right now? Because we don't always think about what we do before we do it. So how to use spiritual discernment. Now you've got an understanding of what it is. Spiritual discernment is a skill. You can't get online and learn about it. You have to live it. You have to question everything. You have to practice. Like, everything takes practice. Anything worth living anything worth learning and adopting into your life takes practice. It takes practice to observe and question without your brain or your ego interfering, because those two things are going to get you into trouble every single time. The devil loves our ego. What is it that we want in life that's going to boost our ego? They're the things they're going to chuck at us. Well, sometimes it's the things they're going to take away. So for me, every time, I'll give you a short example. Every time I think I've found a group of people to belong to, because I spend probably 95% of my life by myself now. Not so much when I had a family and when I was working, but now I work from home, live from home, do everything at home, hardly ever go out. I kind of like it, but I don't like it. Every time I think I can join a group of something, oh goodness, it gets taken away from me. It's the most interesting thing. They like to isolate me. That is my trigger. Well, that's what they think my trigger is. I actually like my own time. I very rarely yearn for human companionship or the company of like-minded people, because it just never works. I have such an unusual way of looking at the world that most people just go, nah, not interested. Oh dear. But anyway, it is what it is. So I just learned to deal with it. One of the things that I will talk about just briefly, this is connected to how to use your spiritual discernment. And I'm going to send you to a few episodes today, because there's no point me waffling on about it all again. I'll just give you a brief overview. Back in episode 42, I talked about demonic disguises. It's called Dark Disguises, False Angels, and How They Trick Us. That gives you some really good basic lists of how demons get close to us, and especially when we let our guard down and bam, they have that hold on us. It is what they do. It's their job, basically. It's what they do to get close to us, to then cause all sorts of mayhem that they then feed off. It's a really vicious cycle. So check out that episode and the other two if you're interested in learning a bit more about how to use your spiritual discernment, because once you start to become a little bit savvy with this, the dark and the demonic entities, they're not going to bother you anymore, because they can't trick you. They can't cause emotions within you. They can't trigger you in any way. It does take practice, and it does take time to develop really solid spiritual discernment. But once you get that BS meter going and you're like, nah, don't want that opportunity, what's attached to it? Oh, look at that huge price I've got to pay. No, sorry, not for me, not right now. And they just throw their arms in the air and they'll just move on to the next person. I know that sounds horrible, but when it comes to demonic entities, you've got to look after yourself first, then your family. And that's about as far as you can go, because these beings are here for lots and lots of different reasons. Now, the three keys to spiritual discernment, as I see them, are awareness, which can also be called observation, questioning, and not trusting anything that you see, hear, or feel without doing the other two. And number 4, if you want to add this, Never sign a contract or an agreement. In the physical earth reality sense and in the spiritual sense, unless you have done all of the physical research. And then if it seems right for you, the benefits are there, go for it. Right? You've always got to think about things. We live life, like I said earlier, in the fast lane. Everything is fed to us. Everything is quick, 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 quick. We don't slow down to read the fine print. Before continuing our spooky content, I'm excited to announce that you can now text my podcast. Yes, indeed, with a question or a comment, or even suggest a paranormal topic for a future episode. The feature doesn't allow me to respond to your text, but I will indeed give you a shout out in a future episode. And if you're interested in leaving a text, you'll find the text link in the show notes. So let's get back to our episode. So what do you get out of spiritual discernment? You know I love lists, so I've given you the 5 key points that I see that you can gain from spiritual discernment. And they're not in any particular order. I find I don't do that, otherwise my brain hurts because I'm trying to organise things in order of importance. They're all important. And they're all going to be important to people in different orders, so just don't get hung up on the order. Number 1. You have increased mental, emotional and spiritual alertness and awareness, which benefits you in all areas of your life. Number 2, you learn to observe and question everything, and your BS meter is fully active. It's as simple as it is. You just observe and question everything. And you'll find you get quicker and quicker at it the more practice that you do. You can pick up a mile away, which is to say, you can pick up a mile away when something isn't right. Your intuition is going to be more keen. You're going to listen to it. You're not going to listen to your brain and your ego, because ego will trick us every single time. Number 3, you gain confidence and you take control of your life. And I've written big win here with lots of exclamation marks. The devil hates it when we are confident and in control, because they have no doorways in. There's less triggers. There's less chances of them tripping us up and us falling into that rabbit hole that we've got to then dig ourselves out of. Number 4, you make decisions aligned with what you need, not necessarily desire. There's a big, big difference. And when you can understand that, you make those decisions that are really, really important. Your life is just going to go in the direction that is most beneficial for you. And number 5, you know that if some offering to you seems too good to be true, I've written in capital letters, it probably is, and don't trust it. Really important to read the fine print. Take your time in making decisions. We don't have to be in the fast lane. That's what's expected of us in society and also with the demonic entities. They'll go, oh, goody, she's going to make that decision real quick. She's not seeing that bit that we don't want her to see. Got to think about everything. Take your time. So I hope you found this interesting today. It's a little short episode, but if you know me by now, I like to be as short and sweet as possible. I do my best not to waffle and just give you the information that you need. So in episode 159, I have a treat for you. 4 paranormal experiences. Some slightly scary and others, well, a little bit odd. A little bit strange, but they're fun nonetheless. We hear tales of the pretend people, as seen by a 4-year-old, sleep paralysis and misty plasma on Jacqueline's bed, the cabbage boy seen by Liz at her bedside late one night, and a mysterious voice of an unknown origin. I do love it when people send me their stories. It makes my heart sing to think that other people are interested in sharing what they're going through, because there might be someone out there that listens to that and goes, so I'm not totally crazy. These things can actually happen. So stay tuned, and I look forward to spending some spooky time with you next week. Oh, and don't forget, if you like the content of this podcast and you don't want to miss any future episodes, please subscribe. And you can share with your friends so we can get the message out there. We can spread the message about these paranormal pranksters and what they get up to in our homes. I would really appreciate it. So thank you for joining me today. And don't forget, if you want to share a paranormal experience just with myself, or you would like me to share one of your experiences through my podcast, you can do a voice recording, or you can write out your experience and I will read it exactly as you have written. You can email me at spiritualbeing44@gmail.com. And for information on paranormal house clearing, you can visit my website, Spiritual Being. You will find the address in the description box. And I look forward to sharing this spooky space again with you next week. And remember, life is perfectly paranormal.